Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to show what has turned out to be pretty much my favorite team for these brutal DLX Legends runs. And obviously we do have Ronan, which we will use for all of the Winter Soldiers and all of the Visions, because we can just stun lock everything to the infinity. I choose to use Silk for Wolverine because we can kind of reverse his regen, but honestly there are obviously a ton of other options that you can use instead of Silk. My personal one of my other favorites is Cassie, because Cassie can do pretty much every single fight in this quest as well if need be, and she's tremendously good for Wolverine because she applies taunt, so she keeps the fight aggressive, she has power stings, so she basically mitigates all the healing, and she finishes the fight reasonably fast. Jessica Jones is something that I discovered that I like the most against Juggernaut, not because she's the fastest, but because she's by far the easiest and safest. And also, I'll end up taking Hulk with Jessica Jones, which is going to be quite cool. I brought in Kate, because Kate is pretty much the best and fastest counter for that Hulk. You only need to be careful when he triggers his Unstoppable. And then Mantis is an absolute monster for Scarlet Witch fights. So I'm going to show all of these fights here. As I said, we're going to start with the Winter Soldier. And this is, well, I used a bit different team. I messed up with Photon. Photon were great, by the way, for Wolverine and Juggernaut as well. But Ronan is definitely the easiest way how you can do this. If you do not have a 6-star Ronan, you can just use your 5-star. Honestly, it's just going to take slightly longer, but it's like the easiest thing ever. Get to nearly 2 bars of power, make sure he has 2 or 3 armor ups, and you will be able to stun lock him forever. And the longer the fight goes, the easier the stun lock is there. My Ronan is Sig 177. I don't know exactly what Sig level you need for stun lock to start working in this match, but you can definitely use a lower Sig Ronan as well. Just build up to like 3 bars of power and let Winter Soldier gain some more armor ups initially, and then you'll be perfectly fine also. It's just going to take a bit longer. Additionally, well, these fights can be done with like most champions. You should not be heavying here, by the way. I made that mistake because heavies remove armor ups, and that obviously puts your stun lock in jeopardy. Magneto is a great option here, without a doubt. Hercules, Aegon, there's so many great options, but I think Ronan is the best because he's the easiest. You don't really need to, actually do the fight as soon as you throw off your first special attack. Opponent's basically permanently stunned and you just keep hitting. So I do think that Ronan is definitely the least kind of like skill intensive and safest option in a way. Now Juggernaut, this fight isn't going to be as perfect as like most of my fights against Juggernauts with Jessica Jones, but Jessica Jones is amazing. And why is she amazing? Well, because she does have that inbuilt taunt, so Juggernaut's going to be activating his special attacks in very, very fast order. And whenever you or Juggernaut activates the special attacks, Jessica gains the Unstoppables, the resistances, everything else. And that just helps her control the fight tremendously. And we will be throwing our special attacks just to get our ramp in. It doesn't really matter that much. But as you can see, it's going to be quite an easy time for us, especially once you will start your fight ramped up. Here was the one thing where I went a bit too aggressive, so he's actually going to regain his debuff immunity, which kind of annoys me a little bit, but that's fine, it's not the biggest deal. And yeah, Jessica, again, since she does have her persistent charges, would be even better had you like started, with your dossier, for instance, ramped up, then she would be even easier. But that's kind of like the cool thing with Jessica. You just want to throw a couple of level 1s to get those charges for your Furies, then get to your level 2, and then you're going to be finishing your fight really, really quickly, thanks to, those Furies increasing your base hit damage. Again, Jessica is not the fastest for this fight, but she's by far the easiest because you just benefit so much from all of that unstoppable resistance and also her inbuilt taunt mechanic, making sure the AI pretty much always cooperates. And that just makes the entire fight super easy. And again, we're throwing that level 2 that does no damage. Here I did not, well, I should not have run in at that Juggernaut. I should have just waited a tiny bit, but it's fine. And now, after that level 2, you do a ton of damage. So Jessica is super safe, honestly. Just try it out. It's like impossible to die and mess up. And she also has her regeneration, so you will be maintaining your health throughout the entire quest, not needing to use potions, which is kind of like one of the things that I worried about more. Revives are much easier to come by than potions, so I also try to use champs that just basically don't really take chip damage or have a way to regenerate that back. And now, obviously, Ronan against Vision, the silliest and easiest thing. Just make sure that you have a level 1 basically before he gets to throw his level 3. And once you do throw your first level 1, the fight's locked in. So I'm going to throw a level 1 here, and I think then I'm just going to start spamming heavy attacks, because why not? Because when those crit, that's a very solid, nice amount of damage there. And the further the fight goes, the more damage you do. And Ronan just absolutely demolishes this fight. And now we have Mantis. Now, what you need to know with Mantis is that she will be doing 800k damage on her special attack, which means that the single level 2 will nuke down any of the Scarlet Witches just super straightforward and fast. And here's going to be the beauty. So we're starting up by building up a few charges here. I'm going to bait out one level 1. Most of the times you don't really need to do that. And now we're putting the Intimidate debuff on Scarlet Witch. And you start charging your heavy attack. You gain 2 bars of power. You gain all your prowesses. And Mantis is by far the best and cheesiest. And again, this level 2 damage is about 800k. So any Scarlet Witch will be instantly one-shot. Like instantly one-shot. And then against Wolverine, it does turn out that Silk can still somehow, I don't know exactly how that interaction is meant to go there, but Silk still can reverse the regeneration of Wolverine, which just makes this fight, fast and easy and cheerful and fun. Again, Cassie Lang, OG Hulk were some of other alternative options that I absolutely loved. Warlock obviously works, Nimrod works just fine as well. But here we can see that, you basically deal with his regeneration just fine. You do not deal that burst of physical damage at end of your special attacks, but that's not the biggest, end of the world. That's not the biggest problem. Because ultimately you still get to do a lot of damage on your basic attacks, and you also end up reversing the regeneration. So Wolverine is going down super fast, and all of them are, and Silk's super fun to play. That was one of the things as well why I didn't want to use Magneto, because Magneto is a great champion and I use him when I have to, but I never want to use Magneto if I have equally good options that are just more fun. And I genuinely pick these champions because I enjoy every single one of them. And there we go. So Silk, super easy. Again, there's tons of options. And now here, I was intending to do a fight with Kate, because Kate does this fight fast and well, because of the passive stun, because of the auto wade and cold snap. Only thing you need to worry with Kate in this match is just pay attention to his rage charges, his passive furies, and when he enters his rage mode, kind of like be ready and be prepared for it, and then he's just going to go down super fast with Kate. But I decided to try out Jessica Jones. And this isn't the fastest fight with Jessica Jones, but I do think this is arguably one of the safest fights. Because Jessica Jones not only kind of taunts the opponent, making sure that he always throws his special attacks, Jessica Jones also reduces the power gain that he's going to be getting from his conflicted node. And then past that point, because he gets inflicted with debuffs every time he activates a special attack, it's basically always on cooldown. And you don't really need to worry about it, and you can kind of do whatever you want. And the fight plan, again, is pretty straightforward as always. You just spam some level 1s. Now here he entered his unstoppable. I didn't even really pay attention, but it's fine because of all the resistance is my own unstoppable. Life's good. Life's good and easy, and I'm regenerating all of that damage that I took back. And that is why I recommend Jessica Jones for this fight as well. Because she makes this fight super easy, super comfortable, super safe, and straightforward. Yeah, because Hulk's AI is going to cooperate all the time due to Jessica basically taunting him to infinity. Your damage output is going to get progressively better, and now that I'm pretty much done with my ramp up, you guys can see that. I have built up some Furies, that's nice, but I'm going to go for my level 2, I think now, or after the next special attack. Then I'm gonna get a bunch of my passive furies and finish the rest of this fight like super quickly. Just that full ramp up on Jessica does take a bit of time, but that's perfectly fine. And now I have Sync loaded up, which is perfect. And here, again, I do make a mistake. I run into his Unstoppable because I was so careless. So I do take a little bit of damage that was completely avoidable again because I was unstoppable myself and I absolutely did not have to run in there. But due to willpower and everything else, we're kind of healing up. And now I drop my level 2. And we can see that Hulk is going down super fast now. And I'm going to throw my kitchen sink. And I get my debuffs from kitchen sink. Sweet. I should have spammed some heavy attacks here just to extend the duration of them. But we can see that damage or time effects, everything else is working in my favor. And I'm just going to go for another like level 1. And the fight is over. It's like the most foolproof way, I think, how to deal with Hulk, which I enjoyed. Again, Kate Bishop, Valkyrie, plenty of other good options, but this one is just the one where you can kind of mindlessly bash that Hulk and you don't need to worry about, which is kind of what you need because this quest is definitely not well designed in terms of repetition and playing through the lower difficulties. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this entire situation, this quest, and the team that I used. And I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye! Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information